Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. Over the past few hours, tons of announcements and news for Dragon Ball was suddenly dropped online. We've seen announcements for Dragon Ball Super Beerus, FighterZ, Goku Super Saiyan 4 Daima, Xenoverse 2 Chapter 4 Final DLC, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Super Limit Breaking Neo, and lastly Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Despite all my training, my power level just wasn't high enough, so I've had to resort to fusion to become powerful enough to cover all these Dragon Ball topics in just one video. I am no longer just Jarrell. I am the fusion between Jarrell and Jarrell with an English accent. You can refer to me as...
Oops. Sorry guys, looks like the Potara fusion ended. I thought it was permanent, but I guess they've retconned it, so I'm just going to have to do this whole video without fusion. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first topic, which is Dragon Ball Super Beerus. I find all this super interesting. Obviously, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, and so getting all of this Dragon Ball news in one big swoop is so exciting. So the Dragon Ball Beerus thing isn't super exciting. I believe they're just sort of remastering and then reconciling the content from the anime version of the story of Battle of Gods and combining that with the movie and just having a consistent level of quality for the animation. What is most interesting is this shot here. I'm not sure why they've included this at the end. So we're looking at the teaser trailer or whatever this is for Dragon Ball Super Beerus, and it seems to be some sort of tank that has an organic creature that is being formed. Now, you could easily interpret this as Frieza being regenerated, but that's not what it looked like when Frieza was regenerated, when he was wished back to life. They had the parts and they had to sort of put him all back together. I'm thinking, here's my guess here, I think this could be a teaser for... This is wish fulfillment. There's no basis behind this, right? Let me go ahead and just shrink myself. So I think that this could be a teaser for a Cooler movie. People really like Cooler, you know, and it goes along the lines of people really liked Broly, so they made a Broly movie. They made Broly canonical to the story, so now Broly is officially canon. People really like Cooler. What if this was a teaser for a Cooler movie and they reintroduce Cooler as a canonical part of the Dragon Ball story? I think that would be sick as hell. Okay, next we'll take a look at Dragon Ball FighterZ, Goku Super Saiyan 4, the Daima version. Majin Ku is now one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball, and I get a feeling we're never ever going to see him in the story again, which is a real bummer, but this looks so fantastic. The particle effects are always great in this game, but the animation, just the physical expression through the animations and the impacts, really fantastic. The developers do such a fantastic job on this, so I'm so pleased to see the game continually getting updated. Again, I don't play it that much, I'm not super competitive, but I do boot up the game on Switch and play it once in a while. It is fun, but I'm not particularly great at this game. But this is sick as hell. I've bought most of the DLC characters for this game because I'm a massive Dragon Ball fan. This is cool though, seeing the two Super Saiyan 4s fight each other. Very cool. This is stuff that can only happen in like Dragon Ball Heroes or a fighting game. But this is fantastic. I want more. I'll take more. I want more and I'll take more when it comes to Dragon Ball. Really fantastic animation. So sick. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Xenoverse 2. So this really shocked me. I was so surprised by this. I was not expecting there to be a Xenoverse 2. I do have Xenoverse 2 and I've played through a bit of it. And I'm so shocked to see that it's getting more DLC, but this is listed as the final DLC. We see Super Saiyan God Vegeta, Rose, Budak. But what's different about him? We get Jiren and Golden Frieza. And then I don't know what this is. This is Wakizashi of some kind. Let me just kind of... Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like a special thing. I don't recognize that Wakizashi, so Okay. But we don't see that much. This is labeled as a trailer, so we don't really see that much new in this. It's a lot of this black screen holding and then some posing. But, you know, it's a cool game. It's a cool game, and it's cool that it's getting more stuff. Let's go ahead now and move on to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Super Limit Breaking Neo. That is a mouthful, and what a delight. So there's 30 plus new characters. What we see here is we see King Piccolo, Super Saiyan Bardock, the Masked Man, Masked Fighter. I'm a huge fan. That is so great. It is so awesome. We have Pycon, nice little detail there with the halo over his head. Oob, Chile, and we have Future, 17 plus 17, and then GT, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Very cool. We get Gohan with, Teen Gohan with the orange gi. A couple new stages. I mean, the stages, whoop-de-doo. I mean, it's nice to have them, but what's really exciting, let's just go through this and take a look at the characters. So, Pycon is so cool. I didn't see the movie that this... There's so many Dragon Ball movies. There's probably like 3 or 4 I haven't seen. I don't know her name. She's... Yeah. I played a Super Nintendo game that had her in it. I think... I haven't seen all the Dragon Ball movies. We got Pycon. So, here's the thing. I get in these moods where I think, yeah, I'm just gonna binge Dragon Ball movies for a while. And then I watch maybe 4 or 5 in a row, and then my brain goes numb because they tend to be so mindless that I can't handle that many in a row, and then I give up, and I think I just don't want to watch any more Dragon Ball movies. They're all the same. The Super movies are different because they are meant to be canonical, and then they're actually part of the story. But the older ones where it was just nonsense, they're so fun, right? But you know what? A cake is nice, birthday cake is nice, but you don't eat a whole birthday cake, and you don't eat it over and over again for hours at a time. You have one little bit of birthday cake, and then that's it. The same with Dragon Ball movies is, you just have one, and then you don't again for another year. You know what I mean? Or until your friend's next birthday. We have Grandpa Gohan with the mask. Tao! General Tao! Oh, it's the guy with the, what's his name? With the Devil Might Beam? Whatever his name is. Champa... Super 17. Boy, the voice actor for 17, what? That's a great voice actor, great character actor. His delivery's so fantastic. I've seen people ask for the mustache on GT Vegeta. I think that'd be cool. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Sure. Nothing really groundbreaking. This is fine. Oh, is that King Vegeta? Oh, I did not... Is that really his name? King Vegeta? King Vegeta's dad? This is my... Okay, so the reason my brain just got stuck for a moment is I've never thought about this character's name. I have never thought about Vegeta's dad's name. I always just thought of him as Vegeta's dad, and just now I'm thinking about how I've never noticed Vegeta is a junior. I've never thought about Vegeta being a junior, but okay, there we go. Vegeta is a junior, and I never really thought his, yeah. So we get Chile, we get Jocko, Nito, Oob, and Goku with his End of Z outfit. And if you want any people to get into a fight in any comment section or anywhere online, just bring up the End of Z and how it lines up with Super, and how Super retcons a ton of stuff from End of Z. I don't particularly care. It's not a topic that has any interest or meaning or value to me, but it's funny that people will fight over that. I think it's, and then you just see people get mad over it. It's so cool. So this is great. Saiyan Man. So it looks like this is costumes. These are just costumes here, right? So it's listing that. So where does it start bringing that up? So new costume is High School Gohan, which I think is very cool. Videl and Gohan get their Saiyan Man outfits. So is that what they're discussing? Is Piccolo gets a new super attack? Kamehameha! A new game mode. This thing, we'd have to see more about what this is. This seems kind of interesting. Anything that adds value. This looks like a fun one-player mode where you sort of power up your character a little bit. Seems really cool. I won't really get into the big specifics of it. You got Lord Slug, who's got a bondage belt. Are you serious? No! Oh, I never noticed that. He does. He's got a bondage harness. Well, he'll fit in real well in Final Fantasy X, won't he? Okay, show off your own just new stages. That's blah 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 blah. Very cool. Very cool. I'm liking this very much. All that extra stuff. Whatever. Wait, who is this now? Oh, this is a cool outfit for 18 is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. Always has been. Supreme Kai. What a poser. This is Android 8. Nam. General Blue. Who is this? Is this... I don't know who this is. This is somebody. I don't know who this is. This is probably from a movie or something. Is this... These are the other Saiyans. Are they Bardock's co-workers? These are Bardock's co-workers, right? Ooh, yeah, I want to see Trunks do the Naruto hand signs thing. Okay, we have GT Pan, GT Goku. Very cool, very cool. Now, let's take a look at Xenoverse 3. Yeah. Boot it up. Okay, the hype is... It's too much hype for children. Children can't handle the hype. So what's interesting about this... There's a character in here that is described as Bulma. But this is like 150 years or whatever after Dragon Ball Z. So either Bulma, in that it's a descendant of Bulma named Bulma, or Bulma's been wishing to be younger or to have infinite life or whatever. We have a bunch of characters here. It's interesting. I want to see original storytelling, because we've seen so much of the Dragon Ball cast doing non-canonical side stories and this and that in games. So I think this game will probably lean into a cast, because it's showing us characters, it's featuring characters that will probably serve as support characters, and I think it's interesting. They gave this character a name, so I'm going to assume that's sort of your partner character. You got this fun giant pompadour with spikes on it. Now, in general, when we see spiky hair, we are sort of saying that they're related to Saiyans. And I like that detail. We have a Saiyan tail here. Let me go ahead and just get myself out of the way. You've got a Saiyan tail here, and his pompadour, to keep in line with the design language of Saiyans and Saiyan hair, is he's got spikes. So I think that's such a cool detail here. I was not expecting this character to be a Saiyan, but that is the most unique looking Saiyan that we've seen. Cool outfit, and I like the design language for the clothes. It is telling us that this is a time period, because it looks quite different from what we've seen from existing Dragon Ball characters, but it also still feels like it exists within the Dragon Ball universe. Very cool. I really like this character. I really like the accent of the blue. It's nice visual cohesion with the blue hair. And we have the blue stripes there. Cool visual cohesion. I want to see more of this character, actually. He's pretty sick now that I look at him. So this character has some sort of a special hidden Saiyaman transformation watch. It's hidden in his wristband. We get a look at... Let's just take a look at some of those characters there again. We got the white-haired character. We have Gamma, the android Gamma. I don't know who this person is here. And then we have this character who is named... I think his name is Brett. I've only watched the trailer once. I think his name is Brett. And they're saying... I heard the voice and I immediately thought, oh, Bulma. This must be Bulma. Looks like Bulma, but different. You know, this is 150 years later or whatever it is. Thereabouts. You know, I don't see the exact dates. Now this is interesting. He sees his Great Saiyaman outfit, and we have some specs here. This is kind of neat. I like this. We have what appears to represent the top part of your clothes, bottom part of the clothes, food, the visor, the hat, and this might be some sort of medallion or a badge. So it looks like this is the Great Saiyaman Task Force, and it looks like people maybe can customize their equipment for the Great Saiyaman Task Force. It seems like the story, and I'm such a huge fan of Tokusatsu and Super Sentai. I love all of that. That's so cool to me. The GS obviously stands for a Pokeball, which will never be followed through in terms of a story perspective. We're just going to abandon that. So the GS doesn't actually mean anything. They're going to abandon that plotline. Obviously, I'm joking. That means Great Saiyaman. So this is the Great Saiyaman Task Force, I'm assuming. He's got a different helmet from the original Great Saiyaman. He's got a visor instead. He doesn't have like a do-rag covering his head. He doesn't have a helmet. He's got a cool scar. But if you recently saw the trailer for the new Street Fighter movie, Guile has a scar in the exact same spot. So I think that means Half-Life 3 confirmed, I'm pretty sure. This character, he has Saiyan-like hair. He must be. So this is the lady that we saw on the street, correct? That is the lady we saw on the street. So this is a recurring character. She sees up and sees her friend Brett, I suppose. He's got Saiyan hair. What else? He's gonna have his landing here. Okay, age 1000. And there's a lot of, you know, black screen, fade out to black screen washout. Capsule Corp, a Great Saiyaman Task Force. Now we see in-game graphics. Before we didn't see in-game graphics. Something I want to point out, which is pretty nice, is we can see the use of normal mapping to apply a sense of material texture to the character. See how there's imperfections that looks sort of like you can see the threads of the material here. I really like that. It adds depth to the 3D model. That's not something we typically see in stylized games like this, but I do quite like that here. I think it works really well. It looks quite nice. His scar looks a little different as well than the cutscene. It's very bright orange. I'm not sure why it's bright orange. Okay, and then we get our other dude, who is another Great Saiyaman. So I want to know what the you know, I'm all about RPGs, so anything about equipment and customizing characters, character growth, development, level up, I'm so into it. Xenoverse 3, we hang on the title for a bit. I do like the 1, 2, 3, and the claw marks on Brett's face. If that's his name, you know, ooh, 3 claw marks, whoop-de-doo. So this is really interesting. This is so interesting to me here. We see the character wake up and we are in first-person view, so this could be the start of the game. So fascinating that we get to see a detailed environment set in the world of Dragon Ball that we get to explore. This is some sort of capsule that you go into. Not a capsule in the sense of Dragon Ball. We know what a capsule is. This is some sort of pod, and it is connected to... Oh, it's a 3D printer. I think you 3D print something in there, I guess. I don't know. You could fit in there. This is neat. So this little robot opens the window for you. It was sort of dark in there, so the windows can dim. But this blurring effect is really neat. I do really like that. From a developer perspective, I'm a little bit jelly of this. I'd like to implement something. I'd like to have a shader like that, having this frosted blur on the windows. I quite like that. Quite nice. I quite like it. Neato. What? I'm seeing some artifacting on the plant. You see there's a lot of horizontal lines there. Maybe it's not a real plant and it's a hologram, which would be pretty neat because it's got an interesting look to it, and it doesn't look like artifacting. See the lines, a lot of... No, it looks like a real plant, and that's just how the plant looks. It seems. So I suppose this is a nod to Bulma hitting Goku with her car. Bulma flies into the player here and hits him. She's got wristbands. Now, are we to assume that all of her technologies are in the wristbands? Because the character's interesting. The capsule logo on his shirt is pulsating. Let's take a look at that, and you're going to see, is that a visual artifact, or is it actually pulsating? It is pulsating. Why? Oh, it's a shirt that tells you when you've been hit by a car. It alerts you to when you've been hit by a car, clearly. Otherwise, why would it be pulsating if it's not a car crash alert? This is interesting. What is this for? Why does Bulma have this? What does that mean, Bulma? Fascinating. Perhaps it allows her to exist in this time period. Perhaps it's either some sort of time travel device or something that lets her project her presence into this time period. His shirt is no longer red, it is now a light blue. So I guess it indicates you've been hit by a car, but you're all right, mate. You're okay. She's holding the robot. And it looks like this is before the character has been recruited into the Great Saiyaman Task Force. This is so cool! I've liked everything about it. It looks fantastic, very interesting to look at. It's just visually pleasing. I quite like it. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I would like to be a Great Saiyaman. I'm just noticing, I really enjoy the hand-drawn 2D animation here. I was taking it for granted. Because it's Dragon Ball, you expect it to look 2D, hand-drawn animated. I took it for granted, really fantastic. And I think the transition to 3D is okay. It's not as good as other games that we've seen, but it's still a pretty good transition to the 3D in recreating the idea of 2D hand-drawn art. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks very much for watching. What was your favorite news? What's your favorite part of this? We've got so much Dragon Ball stuff. Anyway, I hope you're looking forward to seeing all the Dragon Balls. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Be well. Okay. I'll see you next time. And be careful you don't get retconned, because you might be thinking something's going to work out for you. Before you know it, one day, retconned.